We all know the story. I've been busy lately, so please forgive me. There was a woman in Florida who ended up being shot in the back with a 45 caliber bullet in the front of her car. Yeah, now, I am going to bounce around a couple of different places in this video. Please forgive me. This is a family video and it's a kid's video, so it will be G-rated, as hard as it is for me to do these days. Okay. Now, a while ago, the MySpace era, I went back to read my high school yearbooks. And I read every single word in the yearbooks because I had never read every single word in them before. And a couple of my friends had been dead, but when I opened up the books, there they were. Now, more are dead, and when I go back to the books, they're still there. Now, that is the power of YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, yearbooks, photo albums. Okay? Home videos, okay? Now, Eric and Barry, if you'll notice, Barry hasn't been making videos lately. But if you go over to Eric's channel, Barry's still there. And Barry and Eric made a million videos about gun safety, kids and guns, families and guns, stupid people and guns. They made one video where Barry shows every kid's gun from a 410 Mossberg pump to the Davy Cricket to the Ruger 1022 Youth. He emphasized you should be about 8, and he emphasizes there should be parental supervision. Barry and Eric have done many videos on the guy that had the 50 caliber Desert Eagle to his eye and he's now dead. He jackhammered into him. The guy with the Mossberg pump with the pistol grip and no buttstock that ended up in the hospital. There's one video, I can't find it, but Eric said, and I'll put a few links below if I can, where Eric said that a woman came to him, pointed her FN-57 at him. He, out of instinct, disarmed her. And she's like, it's unloaded. And when he opened it up, round was in the chamber, safety was off, her finger was on the trigger, the whole 9 yards, okay? They show this milk can here is all the guys that had empty guns, and we found this in the chamber, over a 2-month supply. Okay, and there's so many stupid stories that Barry and Eric have told, that I have told, and that other people in the gun community have told, either in seminars, in YouTube videos, in person, at the wherever, okay? And people do not listen when we talk, okay? We talk to you, we take out time of our busy schedule. I just crammed lunch down fast so I can talk to you guys now, okay? I gotta go back to work in a few hours, okay? We go out of our way to tell people stuff, and people still don't listen. And this woman in Florida had a Facebook gun safety page. I didn't even know about her until this happened, but you know, gun safety, and you get involved in this stuff. Now, most of my viewers know the very first gun I ever held in my hands was my cousin's duty gun. I was at his house in Jersey with my father, and I remember very distinctly, he was paying a couple of rooms. It was the first time I saw his baby daughter, and my father said, show him your gun. He went in, he got out his duty gun. It was the stainless Smith & Wesson, the stainless steel slide, the aluminum frame. They don't make them anymore, okay? And when he handed it to me, we're going to sub in 1911 here. When he handed it to me, the action was closed. I didn't know any better. He said, point it at the mantle. I pointed at, that area is clear. I pointed at the mantle, and he said, keep your finger on the trigger. And he's dead now. And to this day, if I pick up a gun, I hear his voice in my head saying, finger off the trigger. Okay, now I knew the severity of the gun because 5 or 6 months earlier, which is a long time, about 5 years old, that gun was used to kill a man. He tried to arrest a 300-pound black suspect. No, my cousin is not Darren Wilson. And the suspect put him in a position where he had to kill him. And no one gave a crap. It was no big deal. It wasn't like the Darren Wilson where they rioted, but he killed the man. So the first gun I held, I knew was used to kill a man. For good or worse, better or worse, I knew the power of the gun. And it is a very good idea to show little kids an empty gun, let them play with it in front of you empty, because you don't want them to play with it loaded when they're not in front of you. And you gotta tell them, if you be good, if you do your homework, if you eat vegetables, if you wash behind your ears, when you get older, I'll let you shoot a gun with me. And then you do BB guns, 22s, etc. Pete from the Army Channel, a couple of years ago, his 13-year-old stepson came home from school. And he told his stepson, pick that up and hand it to me, hold that like that, do that, give me this one, how do I hand this one, what's the special one, blah, blah, blah. And then Pete said at the end of the video, you're nowhere near ready to be on your own yet. I always have to be with you. Okay? Now, I have my cousin from the Army National Guard and State Police. He's a major now. He's in South Africa working with their army. He's going to be there with his wife and kids. They were going to go for 2 years, but they extended another year, 3 years. Now, when he used to come over to my house after Christmas one day, I took the guns, emptied them, put them on the top shelf, closed the door. There was no lock on the door, but his kid was forbidden to enter the room, period. His sons got a little older. They added a daughter. Once again, gun on top of the shelf, unloaded, out of reach. They can't get to it. Okay? And last time they were here, a couple of years ago, his son was at the table. And I'm like, you play with daddy's guns, right? Okay? Just the idea of me mentioning his father's guns. No, you don't play that. No. Okay? He knew, like, oh, no, I don't do that. Okay? His father's got a duty gun, an off-duty gun, a AR-15, a shotgun. His mother's like a 25 cheapo. His mother's got a 38 special revolver. Okay? They have guns in the house. And the kids know under pain of death, do not touch the gun unless I say so. Period. End of story. No questions asked. Period. Okay? Period. Now, I personally think that kids should start off on BB guns under supervision, then up to 22s, then maybe a little later, the 38 specials, the 45s, the 500 mag, go a little bit at a time. Now, imagine a car seat with a kid. When I was a kid, baby in the car seat, after your baby, sit in the front seat on the highway. Different time back then. Nowadays, kids are told flat out, car seat, booster seat, some kind of seat until you're like, I've heard 80 pounds or 8 years old in some states. I'm not even joking. Okay? So picture a 4-year-old kid in a car seat, restrained. How far can they reach? Now, a couple of years ago, my sister had my nephew in the back of the SUV. My nephew will be 12 in August. He's about 3 at the time, give or take. They have a DVD player in the back. He reaches up, puts the DVD player, puts the DVD in, plays it, forgets to take it out. The next day, picks it up, puts another DVD in it, on top of the first DVD. He double fit the DVD player. He's 3 or 4 years old, he makes mistakes. And it was a big whoop, he had 2 DVDs stuck in there, you gotta get them out, you gotta unjam them, such a big deal, blah, blah, blah. Because 3 and 4-year-old kids sometimes forget to A, take the DVD out of the DVD player, B, check to see there's one in there already before you put the next one in. Okay, they're 3 or 4 years old. They don't have the mentality that we have, period. Alexa, what time is it? It's 12:15. Okay. So, yeah. Now, I just found out yesterday where the gun was. That's how long it took me to figure it out. That's why I couldn't make the video before that. Plus, I was busy. Now, a lot of people have guns in cars. You carry the gun in a holster. You carry the gun under the dashboard. You carry the gun in the glove compartment. People have guns in cars, okay? I say several times, don't leave the gun in the car because if the car gets broken into, that's it. But people have guns in cars and they're on long trips, going to the woods, going to the campgrounds, going to their house up north. They gotta go to backwoods and, okay, it's really not that big of a deal in theory, but you gotta be professional about it, duh. Okay, here's what happened. She's driving down the road, 31-year-old mother with a 4-year-old son in the back seat, in the car seat. They have a trailer with a horse in the back of their trailer and horse thing. Cops find her on the side of the road with a .45 bullet in her back, and the son's with the gun. Here's what happened. The gun was under the front seat. Take an object, any object, and put it under your front seat. Drive around for a half hour, uphill, downhill, left, right, highway, back road. Okay, that thing's gonna go flying. The gun is under the back seat. Under the front seat, rather, I'm sorry. The gun works its way into the back seat. It falls from the front, under the front seat into the back, where your feet go when you sit in the car, where your feet are, it goes there. This kid at 4 years old was able to reach down and pick it up. Now, was a 4-year-old kid able to rack the slide? I don't think so. Not every kid is Vincent Canales, okay? Kids are not that strong. Okay? I have a hard time racking this with my right hand. See? I have a weak right hand. I have a hard time doing that. I can do it up front though. But if I do this up front, my pinky goes in front of the muzzle. Not very smart. Yes, it's gun and safety check, okay? So I myself have to grab onto this and pull it deliberately. And I just this moment realized I can do the front serration with my right hand, but my fingers go over the muzzle, which is not very safe. So, can a 3 or 4-year-old kid rack this slide on this gun? It was a Kimber, this is a Springfield, same difference, okay? The guns are all the same internally, with almost no exception. So, I honestly don't know if a 4-year-old kid could do this with either hand or both hands. I don't think so. So the gun had a round in the chamber, most likely. Most likely. And for the most part, that's what I do, round in the chamber. Am I a 4-year-old kid? No, I'm an adult. Okay? This gun is empty. There's 2 ways to fire this gun. If the hammer is back, which I normally have the hammer back, and the safety is on, locked and cocked, this is how most guys do it. We're gonna let that go. This is how most guys do it. The kid would have had to take his finger, this is ambi safety by the way, but the kid would have had to take the safety off one way or another, press in on this, and press this. Or, if the hammer is forward, the safety will not engage. Mama. See, it will not go up. So he would have had to do this. And this is harder, by the way. This is harder. Yeah. And then do this. But one way or another, this gun, you have to have this pressed one way and this pressed the other way. In order for the gun to fire, I'm sorry. In order for the gun to fire. One way or another, it's got to go like this. Okay. Okay. So this kid would have had to do that. Now, in theory, little kids, they can figure stuff out. 3-year-old kids, 4-year-old kids, they do the DVD player. They go online. They know how to type insert. They're smarter now than they were when we were 4 years old. Put it that way. Okay. But the kid was either taught how to use this or he figured it out for himself. And how big's his hand? But the problem is the mother had the gun in the wrong place because the kid was not able to use it at that age. Okay? Because he's not thinking about muzzle discipline, not thinking about target this and backstop that, not thinking about pointing we not want to destroy. Okay? He's not thinking that stuff because he's 4 years old and he's not being supervised. Okay? Children have to have supervision when they play with guns, period, end of story. Period. And if you're driving a car with your kid in the back seat and you're paying attention to the highway, the byway, you're looking this way, looking that way, driving, okay, speed, okay, mirrors, okay, you're not supervising the kid. So there was no reason for this kid to have this gun. And the kid had the gun because it was left in an area where it was easy for him to get to. And Florida law says that if your kid gets a gun because you left it in an area where it was accessible, you can be charged. And they want to charge her and put her in jail for 4 months for child endangerment. CPS is involved, the whole 9 yards. Is she a fit mother? who's gonna watch the kid when she's in jail for 4 months. Okay, this is a big deal. If this woman had the gun in the holster, because when I go to the range, I'll have an empty gun in the bag behind me in the back seat and a loaded gun on my body. That's the only time you'll see a gun in the bag. But where am I? In the car with the doors locked, gun's empty, it's in the back seat, and there are no kids around. If there was a kid in the back seat, then I might make other plans. But you've got to understand that a gun laying under a seat casually will be found. If the gun was in her holster, he would not have gotten it. If the gun was in the console, he would not have gotten it. If the gun was in the glove box, he would not have gotten it. This is a classic example of, again, for the 5 billionth time, an adult did not want to do what they were supposed to do, period, and they made a stupid mistake, and as a result of that stupid mistake, the gun control advocates are furious, okay, and once again, we have another problem on our hands, okay, and I want kids to realize this, okay, I want parents to realize this. Never, ever, ever assume the kid can't use the gun. I can leave the gun here, and the kid does not have the strength to pull the trigger. I have a 6-Sal with a 10-pound trigger. The kid can't pull the trigger. Really. The kid does not know how to take the safety off, push this, and do that. Really. Really. Okay? You're going to do that. You're going to flip a coin, and if you lose that coin toss, you got a bullet in your back. This woman is so lucky she's not paralyzed or dead. Because a .45 bullet, I don't give a poop if it's, I almost caught myself there. I don't care if it's hollow point, jacket point, FMJ this, explosive that, super high charge this, it's irrelevant, okay? .45 caliber bullet being fired at 900 feet per second, 2 feet away from your spinal cord, that's gonna hurt you. Whatever the bullet is, whatever the powder grain is, whatever the delivery device is, that's gonna hurt you bad. Okay, and people have to understand that they cannot be morons. And once again, I'm gonna have this conversation again. I'm going to make another video before New Year's about another incident that's going to happen. I'll bet you $10,000 right now I will make another video like this by the end of the year for the same reason. Gun in the purse, gun in the book bag, gun under the bed, gun in the nightstand. I guarantee, I'll bet you $10,000 right now. Put the money up. Okay, I got to get out of here. I got things to do. I got to call my mother back and get ready to go back to work. Yeah, your mother, 34 years old, she still calls and rants. Thank you. Goodbye.